What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video while holding down analysisplayground.com. Too, we're gonna talk about the Dallas Mavericks, a team that finished a lot higher than a lot of people thought. Number one in the South West Division, which a lot of people didn't see going into the regular season, and it ended up being reality at the end. And a lot of it has to do with Luka playing at an All NBA first team level, and a lot of it has to do with guys getting hot and guys being injured and guys just really being great under Rick Carlisle, who got the best out of this roster. This roster was never known as having the best shooters or the best talent, but Rick Carlisle really got this team to play his best. And when he relied on Luka, most of the time he delivered. And that was something that was different than last year that he was able to do even in the playoffs for the most part. And that's why they ended up becoming one of the respected in a team that we look at as dangerous each and every year just because of their shot making ability, especially when Luka is shooting and creating the way he was doing in the regular season in the playoffs last year, especially in the playoffs. It's hard to really doubt that he can do it again this year, especially with a full off season and the way he looked in the Olympics. It looks like he's going to be on a mission this year again to repeat or do even better than he did last year. And that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to watch. When you look at guys on this roster, there's still a lot of unknowns on this roster, which is unfortunate. You have guys like Tyrell Terry, who we thought would be decent, who we thought would give them some scoring and some shot creation. Just haven't seen enough of him. And that's even in Summer League. So we really still don't know what he's going to be, how many minutes he's going to get, what his role is going to be. And especially with Jason Kidd being the coach now, we really don't know what he is in the league. And it's unfortunate because he has a roster spot and we still don't know what he's going to be. Same with Moses Brown. You look at him as a center, 7'2" with size, but we still don't know exactly what he's going to do and how many minutes he's going to get and what kind of impact he's going to have on both ends of the court. We know he has the athleticism and the size to be an impact player, but he still has to do it at a high level and warrant the minutes and be able to be productive in those minutes. And that's something that he hasn't proven, and that's something that we have to see. Same with Sterling Brown. He has been a solid player in the league, a rotation player at best, especially as an eighth or ninth man. I don't really see him getting significant minutes either on this team, but I do feel like he can make an impact on both ends of the court when he's out on the court. Jalen Brunson has been huge for this team. Probably underpaid, but he really gives his team a lot of energy and a lot of spark by coming out aggressive, looking to attack, looking to make shots, looking to make plays. You need guys like that on your roster, and Jalen Brunson has really gave them something that they was missing, just a punch off that bench, and has become real, real huge for what they have become and their identity, especially last year for them. And they're going to need him to continue that this year and be productive. Reggie Bullock is their huge acquisition this offseason. They bring him in to be a 3-and-D guy, a guy that can really give some shot, three-point shooting ability. So if you help off Luka or you help off, you leave somebody open, it'd be Reggie Bullock, and you feel like he can knock that down pretty consistently. I always have respect for Reggie Bullock. He got better, and now I feel like his three-point shot it really helped New York a lot. That's why they prioritized him in free agency to bring him to this team to give them the same. I think he repeats it, and I think he can be a huge player for them, and that's why they have confidence in him and brought him in. Trey Burke was another underrated pickup for them, another guy that can come in and give you ball handling, give you scoring, give you shot creation. There's another guy that can give you some on and off ball shooting ability, and I feel like that really helped this team when they picked him up basically for nothing a while ago. And I'm not really surprised that they're bringing him back now, as he does fit what they do and what they're trying to do offensively. And I still think he's a solid rotation player in this league. Willie Cauley Stein has been solid for them for a long time, just giving them switchability on the perimeter, giving them a guy that can finish in the paint, can rebound, and can really set good screens, can still be a little crazy offensively and defensively, but has been solid at best on both ends of the court. And that's all you need him to be at this point in his career, just serviceable. And that's something that he brings to the table day one, and that's something he still brings to the table now. Luka Doncic is just fantastic, and he really makes this team go. He is the system. He is the team. This team is only going to go as far as Luka can take them. They're only going to go as far as he dominates. And they're going to need guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Reggie Bullock to play off of him. These guys give him the perimeter shooting. These guys give him the space to operate in the pick and roll, to operate and get to that paint, to get to that floater, to get to that push shot, to get to that fade, because they allow him to pick apart the defense if they rotate and just make the right decision, either if it's scoring, hitting the right old man, hitting the shooter in Porzingis or them. Dorian Finney-Smith and Tim Hardaway Jr. gives them that. And we've seen that in the playoffs when Dorian Finney-Smith, Bullock, and Hardaway and Porzingis and those guys making their threes, this team is unstoppable just because Luka is just that dynamic and just that tough to stop because he's just so smart, just so patient, and with him improving his jump shot and improving his scoring from different facets of the game offensively just made him a little bit more unpredictable offensively, and having those weapons just make their job easier because it forces the defense to pick their poison and just live with the result. And it's just up to them to make the shots. And that's going to be the key for Dorian Finney-Smith, guys like Reggie Bullock, and guys like Porzingis, and guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. We do need you to make some mid-rangers. We do need you to get to the paint. We do need to knock down some floaters. But we also need you to be able to hit them threes, even if it's from 30. And they all show the capabilities of doing it, but they get hot and cold. And that really been something that has hindered this team, is being able to get consistent three-point shooting, especially when Luka or somebody kicks it out by attacking the defense. Even if it's Jalen Brunson, for example, those guys got to continue to make shots. Maxi Kleber has been huge for this team, giving them a stretch 4, stretch 5 sometimes too. Just gives them more floor spacing, just like a Dorian, just like a Tim, just like a Porzingis, and just gives them somebody, if obviously Porzingis goes down, somebody that can still put out on that forward and spread the floor out just so Luka can still operate. Same with Jalen Brunson and those guys. Then you got Boban, just a huge body that can punish small lineups, that can punish switching. You can give him the ball, he can hit a floater or a push shot. He can get the ball in the post and just shoot over anybody or just dunk it. He still needs to improve his interior physicalness and his rebounding to just be more dominant and just more of a force in the paint. But other than that, he has been respectable as a big, has been respectable when it comes to touch, and has been a solid free throw shooter for his size and his hand size, and has been respectable, and they feel like he can give them that advantage, and they feel like they should bring him back, and that's what they did. McLaughlin or something like that. I don't see him getting significant playing time. We don't even know if he's going to be on the roster. Same with Kerry Jones, same with Hunt. These guys are just going to be playing in or getting waived or maybe not even be on the roster no more. Same with Melly. Same with Riddick. He isn't on the roster anymore. We want to see where he goes, but he still holds that spot. Dwight Powell gives them another big that can be switchable on the perimeter, gives some interior scoring, rebounding, and some type of rim protection. Not great at it, but can give you some type of inside presence. Josh Green, we still don't know what he's going to be. Hasn't been able to find an identity and a role in this league just yet. He was known as a guy that can be a perimeter scorer. We just haven't been able to see it, as they have a lot of perimeter players that are better than him. So it makes sense that they're going to get the playing time because they are veterans. They understand the system. They understand the roles. And they understand what they're needed to do. And he still has to find that in the league, and we'll see if he ever becomes something for this Dallas Mavericks team or just another player on this roster. But other than that, Porzingis is going to be huge for this team. A lot of people been taking shots at him. A lot of people been calling him out. We need him to be that 1A. We need him to be at least an all-star caliber player. But Porzingis has been a 20-8 guy in a regular season. I know he isn't used as much or scores as much in the playoffs, and that's when they need him to step it up and be more consistent. But that is all fair. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's crazy. It's proven and it's facts. But at the same time, all I can really say is, Porzingis, this is your season. You really wanted to get out of New York. You really wanted to go play. Then you go to Dallas and you get the perfect role where you can get space and you can score and you can do your thing. But this really is going to boil down to Jason Kidd, how he's going to use Luka, how he's going to use the spacing and shooting around Luka, how he's going to find a system that fits Porzingis and Luka, and how he's going to get this team to defend. He was able to be a good coach for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was able to be a solid coach for the Nets. But ultimately, he hasn't shown that he's an elite coach, elite offensive coach, elite defensive coach. And we're going to see if he can coach better than Rick Carlisle. A lot of people obviously know that Rick Carlisle is a downgrade. I mean, Jason Kidd is a downgrade from Rick Carlisle, but that's something that they had to live with. Rick Carlisle didn't want to be there. He left. They had to accept it. They had to find somebody that Luka respects. Same with the rest of this team, and Jason Kidd is that guy. But his question is still questionable. His question is still doubted by a lot of people, and this is just another chance for him to show that he belongs having this position. He belongs to be a head coach in this league, and now he has a lot of talent and he has a great team. But I don't expect this team to be a championship team. I probably don't even expect this team to be a Western Conference Finals team. But I do expect this team to be a playoff team again. I do expect them to be at least able to get to the second round, which is better than what they did last year. But ultimately, they just don't have that third guy, and we just don't know how dominant Porzingis can be, especially when it matters most in the playoffs. When you're in the Western Conference and you have some of the best players in the world that you have to beat just to get to the second round, which we've seen Tim lost twice in the first round and didn't make the playoffs his first year, it just shows you how competitive and how tough it is to win in the NBA, let alone win in the playoffs in the Western Conference. But I do think they have enough talent to do it and get out of the first round. I just don't have the confidence in them to be an elite team in the NBA. They're just missing that third piece to get them over that hump. And ultimately, they have a lot of good pieces. They have a good players that fits what they're trying to do, but they just don't have enough elite level talent to really be a serious team in the NBA when it comes to winning the title. So I expect them to be great. I expect them to be competitive. I expect them to be respectable, but I ultimately do expect them to fall short of being a deep playoff run team, even if they have one of the top 10 players in the world and Luka Doncic, who can continue to grow and can continue to be better and can continue to be dominant. But just like we've seen, he has been great even in the playoffs so far in his career, but he also hasn't got out of the first round. One man can only take you so far. Other guys gonna have to make plays. They're gonna have to make shots, and Luka gonna have to be continually be dominant. And Porzingis is gonna have to step up and be just as good, if not significantly better, in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. And if they do that, then maybe they can push this talent a little bit further and get out of the first round and be even able to get to the conference finals. But if they're the same team or a little bit better, I don't really think that they can be a significant team when it comes to winning the title. But they still can get out of the first round depending on the matchup and depending on who they're playing and what the injury situations are. And they can take advantage of that situation or that matchup and still be able to beat them. But I don't see them as an elite team in the Western Conference just yet. Maybe if they make another trade, maybe if another player comes available that wants to come play with Luka and Porzingis comes out, then I can see them being perfect, for being a legitimate team that can win it all. But they're young. They still have a hungry superstar that hates losing, that gets destroyed when he loses, and that motivates him to get better. And now that they have him locked up, and now that he's shown that he can improve and grow, like we seen last year, his rookie year, and even into the playoffs, this team will be a lot to be dangerous for multiple seasons. But ultimately, will they win the goal of winning the championship? That's something that we have to continue to watch this team for each and every year to see if they can win one or multiple with Luka Doncic as their, long-term superstar. So now we just gonna have to see if they can get it done. Other than that, Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. See y'all tomorrow. And let me know what y'all guys think about the Dallas Mavericks next season.